What's up, everyone? Big up to YouTube land. Big up to everybody that's watching and tuning in right now. Big up to you, Coachella. Let's go. Big win, as the tweet here by Chelsea FC says. Big win. Fantastic. Loving it. Enzo Fernandez getting the second goal. Jackson opening the score after 7 minutes. And Cole Palmer finishing a beautiful strike. It had to be him to end it, and it had to be a beautiful goal. We'll discuss everything else and more after this short intermission. We'll be right back. Alrighty, and we are back. We are back. Now let's quickly go through the starting 11. But give me a couple of seconds. Let me share the link to the people that I need to share it to, the persons who would like to join the stream. So bear with me. Give me a couple of seconds. But while you wait for us to go through the lineup and recap the match in full, let me know your guys' thoughts in the chat. Let me know what you guys are feeling. Big up to you guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and share if you haven't already. If you're new, we're getting closer to 3,000 subscribers. So, slowly but surely we're getting there. It's been a wonderful journey on YouTube as well. Getting closer and closer to the promised land of YouTube. I appreciate everyone who's locked in and everyone who's here. Big up to you guys. Big up. I hope you guys are well. GMC Garvin says ready. All right. Bear with me, guys. I'm right. I'll be going through the lineup very soon. Just bear with me, guys. I will be doing that. But yes, I hope you guys are good. How you guys feeling about this win? Chelsea are second on the Premier League table. I'm sure when you look back, we were not expecting to be seeing that. We're second on the table. It's incredible. We are what? What is it? We are six. Is it 6 points behind Liverpool or something like that? Whatever amount it is, we are in a good position, to continue to be challenging for top four. Absolutely love that. Absolutely love that for us. I'm really happy about that. Let me know what you guys are thinking. And sure you guys are liking and subscribing if you're new. We're gonna go through the lineup. Bear with me. Give me a couple of seconds. Still sharing the link to those persons. But let me know what you guys think about the match. How you guys feel about the match. What are you guys doing? Let me know what you guys think. All right, so let's go through the lineup now. All right, I've shared the link to the persons who deserve the link. So let's go through this now. So starting 11, Sanchez, which a lot of fans were disappointed to see. A lot of people are saying Jurgensen should have started after his performance in the Conference League, but Sanchez got a clean sheet as well, and he actually came clutch in saving some shots. He still had some dodgy passing, nothing new for Sanchez. Fofana, Cowell, and Cucurella in the defense. Neto, Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo. This is something that a lot of fans were surprised to see, but it was a wonderful starting 11. We saw Lavia and Caicedo, maneuvering and monstering that midfield. Enzo being more of the offensive midfielder, and he got a goal to show that if you play him in that position, you can get the best out of it. I'm happy for Enzo. Second goal in 2 games in the Premier League. Fantastic for him. Sancho came back in starting after he got 2 assists in the Conference League in the past week. And Palmer and Jackson came back into the team as well. Palmer getting an assist as well, getting onto the score sheet to score the 3rd goal for us, and Jackson obviously opening the scoring as well. Absolutely fantastic from Chelsea there. Absolutely fantastic. Coach is saying excellent performance. We made Villa look ordinary. 100%. We sunk them. Definitely sunk them. And yeah, Sanchez had a good game. He had a good game, despite the fact that he had some dodgy passing moments. He did well. We have to give that to him. We have to give that to him. 100% give that to him. And I'm joined here with my first panelist. Big up to you, CFC Dante. How you feeling about the match and how you doing?
Yeah, big up, Ty. Good, feeling very good. Yeah, especially that second half performance. I think that was nice to see us actually, seeing out a game. Basically, we controlled it a lot, passed the ball around, kept Villa really to only a couple of chances basically in that second half. So yeah, I took that. I love to see that we were able to do that. And Maresca's been preaching that for a long time. If we're up, he wants us to see games out like that and not leave gaps open and give the ball away silly and attack a bit too much. So I think that was a perfect balance, and I think that second half was really good. Yeah, seeing out the game.
All right, thank you. I'm joined here by Bobby as well. How are you feeling about the match, Bobby? I'm sure you're happy, but let me know your thoughts on the match.
Yeah, Ty, as I was saying with Tobago, look, we've all got to be happy with this one. Today belonged to us. They struggled with dealing with us. Our offensive play was too much for them. What pleased me the most was that we won the vital midfield battle all game. Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo just outclassed them. They were just too much. They won the physical fight, and they stamped their ability. Caicedo's endeavor, Lavia's close control, and Enzo's vision and playmaking. It was too much for them. The attackers, every time we went forward, we looked dangerous. Defense, usually as usual, a little bit shaky, but in the second half, we were much better. Colwell started actually being the sweeper that he was there to do, and he was sweeping, and he did a good job of it. Even Sanchez, he flapped a couple, but yeah, he saved when he should. He didn't make that many glaring mistakes. I think we could be really happy with today's work. Palmer, not really himself. Dante rightly sort of pointed to his injury. I don't know how much of that, but there's something, he's dipped a bit in form, which is natural. It's normal. The greatest players in the world sometimes have off days, or off 2, 3 days. So he's in that bit. But just to remind us all of what he can do, he bangs in a goal when I'm already popping up tweets saying, "Hey, look, it's time. Maybe we brought him off for Jao Felix for the last 10 minutes." Felix comes on, does nothing wrong. Nkunku comes on, shows look he needs to be maybe given a bit more than the last 15 minutes or so. Look, it's a good day's work. The only sad thing, an annoying thing, is the injury to Wesley Fofana. It's very upsetting. The kid's just got back. He's a good defender, also in development, but he's very good at carrying the ball forward. Let's see how long that will be. It didn't look that bad with him walking off, but he's going to certainly miss a couple of games. And fortunately, the likes of Tosin, Badiashile came on, didn't do too badly, although he stepped back. He didn't really venture forward. Yeah, I'm pleased with today. Clean sheet as well. We can't complain today. We can't. Beating a rival for the top four position. I mean, it was a good day.
Yes. Welcome, Garvin, as well. How are you feeling about the match and how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I want to say big up Dante and big up Sir Bobby. It was a good win.
Big up, Dalvin.
I really enjoyed the game. I see that as I said before the season started, I'm still confident that we're gonna finish third. And I still believe that Nicolas Jackson is better than Erling Allen. I ain't gonna stop saying it. So good win.
Who did you guys
Alrighty,
have
righty.
there as man of the match? Because I'm a bit upset that some people are calling Cole Palmer. I'm saying no, 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 not today. His goal was excellent, but he wasn't man of the match at all. You know, any one of the three midfielders plus Cucurella, I'll hear that. But
Mm.
nah, not Palmer. No, 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 not today. Let's not do
Yeah, I
that.
agree.
You
I
know,
agree, and yeah, on my network, he was man of the match. So yeah, I didn't agree with that either. I think he didn't have the best of games again. Did okay, a couple of things, like you said, the goal was good. The assist, did he give him that assist? I think so. And yeah, look, he had those two moments, but other than that, again, he was a bit, yeah, a bit shaky, a bit not quite there with his thinking. Which I'm still going back to say, ever since that tackle on his knee, yeah, he's looked a bit shaky, and I wonder if that's still bothering him. A little bit of bruising, a bit of a tackle like that. If you don't rest it properly, never goes away. Like you either you eat each game, and the players are too proud to say it's affecting me. They're never going to say that because that's not how it works. So I wonder if that's affecting him. I've noticed that a couple of times he's turned back on his foot and his leg sort of buckled a little bit. That just showed a bit of weakness to me in that knee because of that, and I think that's still affecting him. I think he's playing for a little bit of pain. So yeah, it'll be good. Hopefully, we can see midweek. Hopefully, maybe. Do you think they'll still start him against Southampton? I would like to see actually Felix start that one and just
me
maybe not
too.
playing back 90-minute games.
He needs to be on the bench for that one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
You're
I
right.
agree. Definitely give. I think Felix has earned that. Just like I said, don't play him because that's going to get even worse if you keep playing more and more. So hopefully that's not the case. But yeah, I don't agree. Yeah, I don't think he should be man of the match, but he did get given it the man of the match.
I don't even know who to give man of the match today, to be quite honest. I would just say just the whole entire team because this performance today was something, different, something that we have been waiting for, for see the whole entire team turned up. Not just an individual player, the entire team turned up today. Even Sanchez that we all know that should be on the bench, come up with some good moments. So it's hard to pick a man of the match for this game.
Definitely, yeah. Team performance
Yeah,
first, 100% team performance, which was good to see. Yeah, after that, I probably look Enzo. I think was very good. Uh, Good distribution, passing, putting pressure from the front. He ran a lot again. If you look at his kilometers run, he's like one of the top ones again that ran the most in the game. So to me, I would probably Enzo is probably the closest to that. But I agree. Yeah, it's more of a team effort today. There's no real standout.
100%. Big, yeah. Well, welcome to the stream, the coolest shows. I hope you guys are good. I hope you're good. What am I saying? I'm too elated. I'm talking rubbish. I hope you're good. Tobago. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, bro. What a fantastic performance by the boys. What a fantastic win. Another 3 points. Let's build it on these guys. Another difficult game, Southampton during the week, which won't be easy. As you know, those teams that are playing for relegation won't be easy, but I expected us to go there and win again. So, Cole Palmer, what a performance by him, but again, I don't think it's the man of the match for me. I'll give it to Marco Corella, even Enzo, even Moses Caicedo, Lavia. I think those four players played very well, but Cole Palmer, man of the match, I don't think so.
I think man of the match should be probably Maresca as well.
Agree, Dante. I agree.
Yeah.
Fully agree.
So, question, guys. How all right? Let's go through each player, starting with Sanchez. How do you think Sanchez played? Starting with you, Garvon.
Do you know, to be fair, Sanchez had a good game today. He did the usual Sanchez, two moments in the first half when they kept passing the ball back to him. I was like, oh no, don't do this, don't do this. You could just see him suddenly giving it to a Villa player. He didn't, but I don't like it when he's constantly brought into the play like that. Then in the corner, when he flapped at the ball, he should have collected it. He didn't. He I don't know whether it was a punch or a flap or what, but we got a free kick for something. I didn't understand what. I just think that was the ref trying to be a bit kind. But apart from that, let me be fair to him. He had a good game, couple of important stops, not least to mention the one by Ollie Watkins when he beat Fofana, a mixture of Fofana being beaten and him tripping over his own feet. And at that point, Colwill going AWOL because as the sweeper, he should have been there to mop that up. But as it was, the goalkeeper got it. You know, people may say, oh, he didn't have a very strong shot to deal with. But we've seen those sort of balls getting passed into the net many a time, and it was going through his legs. He just managed to stop it with his thigh. So you know, I would give him a pass today. He did well, as did the whole team. This was an ultimate team performance. Everybody played their part. You know, Sancho for when he was on, even the subs coming on. You know, they did well. So I'll be hard pressed to criticize him today. I don't think he's the best. It doesn't mean to say he's the best, but he's what we've got. He has his moments of good goalkeeping, and today we got in my opinion, I think today he was all right. I'm not going to get on his case.
Dante?
Yeah, I agree with Bobby. Yeah, he had an okay game. He did what he had to do. He pulled that stop when he needed to, although it wasn't the best technique, to be honest. He jumped with his in the air and just sort of caught his under thigh. So it wasn't the best, but look, he still saved it, and he didn't do too many other mistakes, which is good to see. He flapped it a couple when he came out, but like I said, no error. It wasn't glaring. He didn't, take unnecessary risks. So yeah, probably he gets a pass today. 100%. He did okay. He gets a pass, just a pass.
Garvan?
I would say he have a good game. We have to give it when it's there to give. Even though we know that he's not probably good enough for Chelsea, but for this game today, he did what he have to did. He keep a clean sheet. That save that he made, where he come off his line, normally give away penalty there. Normally you miss it completely, and today, he go cautiously, and it was the right choice for him to go and block. So. I have to give him today. Like he have a good game today.
All right. How about you, Tobago?
Yeah, I'll give him the credit. Today he played very well, and like everyone is saying, I don't think Aston Villa really caused us any trouble beside those silly mistakes by with Silver Fan and stuff. But overall, thank you for that crucial save, because if he didn't save that one, game would have been different. So big up to him. Hopefully, continue that way.
Sorry, my mic was muted. Right.
Time
Big
press
up
the
team
button.
Abbas. Yeah. It's gonna take some time to get used to. But Mambas is saying big up. Okay, I need to take a breather before I read this. Ooh. Big up legendary Lord Constantine Dante. Hi, Bobby, to be goal.
Abbas.
I can't do it, but I'm gonna try. Legendary Coachella, and lastly, wow. So Garvan was an afterthought. And lastly, big up to GFC Garvan. I'm happy with the win, but it should have ended with 4 to 5 goals. I agree with you, but I mean the win is all that matters, and it's a good performance. And as coach said here, can we talk about Maresca's brilliant tactics? But yeah, let's move on to which player. We can move on to I'm at a loss right now. We can move
Before
on
you before you move on,
No.
before you move on, Ty, real quick, I know we were more goals to go above Arsenal, but remember, like the December period is a time where this performance is what suited the December period because of game control. You know, we control it. We didn't give Aston Villa too much that we have to do too much running. We didn't make it into a basketball game. So I would say it was a well performed. You know, I know that the goal should be yeah 4 and we go above Arsenal, but I'll satisfy with this one.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
Let's.
I have to agree. I think the tactics were very cute. Maresca is proving himself to be very pragmatic. He. I don't know those people that were trying to say he's a one trick pony. He's very far from it. He can do different things. Although maybe he's got a better squad to do different things with, but he's not going to be predictable, which is what's needed at the Premier League. He plays various permutations and still maintains his basic structure, which is ball possession. But it doesn't stop him occasionally playing it long, doesn't stop him occasionally low blocking, a lot of possessional play. We're a threat. What pleased me today was that we locked up the midfield so much that we are a threat. Villa don't play like this. They're not a sit back team, but they were scared to come forward too much. And whenever they did, they thought, okay, we'll give it a go. They lost the ball and it nearly cost them because of the blistering pace of our wingers and indeed our central attackers. Our attacking threat was a problem to them. Our pressing was a problem to them. Our midfield was a problem to them. You know, our defense, as shaky as it was, they couldn't impregnate. It was a problem to them. Today, all round, we were a problem. And the big reason for that is Maresca's tactics. You know, he blocked the midfield with his three midfielders. He pressed further up the pitch. He utilized our strength, which is our offensive play. And but for a little bit of extra finishing, you know, where Jackson stole the ball. I know he scored an excellent goal, and but he could have got more today. And if there's anything to be picky about, maybe that, you know, you can't just rest on your laurels after you've scored once. You've got to keep going, and if you can get a hatful, get a hatful, which he could have done today. But that aside, the tactics was spot on. They had no answer. They had no answer, even with their subs. The more things they changed, the more we were able to tighten the hold, the noose around their neck, as it were. As I said, today, I give them the flowers. They did well because Villa is not an easy team to do that to, and we made them look very ordinary today.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Let me see what my boss is saying here. Maresca is proving to become a much better coach than two of our exes that we had. Potter, and for the sake of Dante, I'm not going to say the second name. And also, honorable mention Bruno. I'm not going to say that because I want to go to heaven. Salter and Frank Lampard, who now manages Coventry City FC. Okay, all right. Thank you for that contribution. I want us to talk about Levi Colwell. Starting with you, Dante. How would you say Levi Cole did in this match?
Not wasn't very impressed him playing as that sweeper position, the man in the middle. In that first half, he got caught out maybe 3 or 4 times. He got caught out, just not watching, not reading the play, and this is what we've, especially me and Coach on Chelsea perspective, we've talked about him and Fafana are very much more aggressive defenders. They like to get off the line. They'll chase players out off the line and they'll move out of position a lot. But the problem is they do that together a lot of the time, so it doesn't work that way. He was the one that needed to sit back and okay, let Fafana do that, no problem. But sit back. You're in that central position. Watch the game, sweep basically, and get involved when you need to. But yeah, too many times he was caught up the field, out of position, and we nearly got punished pretty badly a couple of times. They should have probably scored a couple of goals. So I think the first half he didn't do that well at all. I think he was probably the problem in that defense. Even though you saw more Fofana in like the camera and him slipping over, and then but Levi Cole's job was supposed to be he's the one that controls everything back there, directs everything, and covers for anything like that. And I thought he was pretty poor at that today in the first half. Second half, he improved quite a lot. He did much, much better. But then again, right when when I think Gavin said that when Sanchez came out to block that ball, who was it? It was Duran. Yeah, he was marking Duran, and he let Duran get goal side of him. And you cannot do that. And Duran got his foot on the ball. Lucky Sanchez was just in time, because again, that should have been probably a goal if that wasn't the case. But again, he got called ball watching, and he had Duran on the wrong side of his body. You can't do that. Those little errors, those little mistakes like that lead to goals. And he's very lucky it didn't lead to that one for a goal, and then obviously in the first half for a couple of goals. So yeah, although he did much better in the second half, still I think he's still very, very shaky and very sort of, he can't really control a game like that. He can't be that sweeper, in my opinion. Maybe in a two center back, a little bit better, but alone there as the guy sweeper, no, not for me. I after today, definitely not. It just shows that he's not at that level yet that he can do that. Of course, he's only going to get better and he'll learn from the experiences, but yeah, that is one of our problems back there. That's a little bit of a weakness at the moment.
All right, thank you. Before I go to Bobby, was Bobby the one that spoke first? Am I having memory loss?
Only $4.99, coach. That's not going to do it, coach. You need a lot more than $4.99.
Yeah, 100%. That's not enough for me to kick off Dante. Yeah, exactly. But thank you for the donation, coach. You don't have to do this, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. It helps towards continuing the rebrand of the channel. The audience will see that the logo is different. The whole setup is completely different as well. So thank you so much for that donation. It's really appreciated. But yes, I'm gonna skip some of what my boss says here because I think there's repetition. Right. So coach is saying that the reason why he wants you to come off and why he hates you so much is because you disagree with him all the time. Big up to you, Victor. Yeah, we're second for now. If City get a win or if they get a result in their favor, then they go back to second place, I think.
We're still third.
Yeah, but it's good. Yeah. All right. So the more he plays, the better he becomes. All right. So over to you, Bobby. What's your thoughts on Levi Colwell's performance?
I have a slightly different take. I think in the first half, he went AWOL as a sweeper. He didn't really show a command of the position. There were key times where he was sweeping in front rather than and forgetting to sweep behind. We play the sweeper keeper system, but when you're playing a back three, you have a defensive sweeper as well. And this sweeper sweeps in front and behind. In terms of sweeping in front, becomes more or less a stagnant DM, and behind is the guy that mops up. He fell short. In the second half, he did much better, and it showed. You saw his presence. He cleared certain almost goal-bound incidents, really, and he did what he was meant to do. Look, this thereby, it brings us back to the same thing. This is a squad in the making. A lot of these players are developing. Our defenders, like it or not, are developing. They're young. They're growing into their job, really. They're getting better, but they will have moments where you see their naivety or the fact that their lack of experience goes through. And this is where they get the experience. I'm sure XYZ down the line, if Levi Colwill finds himself playing a sweeper again, he will do much better. Will he make a few odd errors? Possibly, but certainly not the errors of not being there to sweep at the back when he's supposed to. And I'm sure that was pointed out to him during the halftime interval. So, yeah, a player in development, absolutely. Is he does undeserving of the chances he's getting? I would say no. I think he deserves the chances he's getting. How else will he evolve? The difficult job that Maresca is doing well is managing the evolution of these players as well as winning games with their naivety. It was good to see people like Noni coming off the bench, and if you notice, when he came off the bench, he didn't make the same errors he was making that had him go on the bench in the first place. So they're all in a learning process, and Levi Colwell is very much in that. He can be a great defender once he gets experienced and a little bit more rehearsed in his duties.
Fair enough. How about okay? How about the fact that coach says here more likes people, more limes. Oh my lord! Jesus
Yeah, I don't know.
Christ! Jesus
I think
Christ!
he's on a bit of weight. His fingers
Yeah.
are getting fatter. They're going across the. He's been doing that a lot
Yeah.
lately.
Tell you what, Man City, talk about mistakes. Man City looks dreadful at the moment. Liverpool could have scored twice
Mm.
at this. Gosh, and I'm wanting them to win so they make it a bit tighter up there. But at this rate, they are not looking good at all. They need to. I don't know what they need to do, but they need to sort this out. You see, that goes to show no matter how good a manager you are, you don't have the players. You're not going to be able to do anything. And there's certain players that you rely on and they're irreplaceable. And in the case of Man City, Rodri is one of them.
I disagree with
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
Bobby.
Yeah. All right.
I
Ooh.
I want
All
I
right.
want
Go
Liverpool
go
to
go go
win,
ahead. Go
and
ahead, Garvon.
and I want Liverpool to win. And the reason why I want Liverpool to win, Liverpool haven't have this big squad, so they're gonna reach a stage where they're gonna caught up with Liverpool. So right now, when you can put Man City down, keep them down. You know,
Fair
like
enough.
in the January, probably in the January, February, especially when Salah go out on the African Cup of Nation, Liverpool normally tends to fall away. So I rather Liverpool take it now, when we're still in reach of Liverpool and keep Man City down there. That's just my take on it.
Well, fair enough. I mean, the way Man City are playing now, I can't see them winning this game or surviving anything other than a defeat. But I don't know. I really don't know. My instincts say let Liverpool be pulled back, but you're right. If you can keep Man City down now, do you know what? I don't even care. Whatever. It's a matter of take your poison.
Yeah.
Both poison.
Yeah. Yeah. Tobago. You joined back now. Let me get your thoughts on Levi Cole's performance. How do you think he played today?
Yeah, Levi Colwell, I think he played very well, but he made a silly error. Him and Moses and Fafana, the Villa almost capitalized. So, besides that one error, I think Levi Colwell played very well today. I won't say he played brilliantly because Villa didn't trouble us a lot. So, good performance by him. Hopefully, continue that way.
Okay, wow, that was short and sweet. All right, let's
Short,
move on
sweet,
to
and not
Wesley
accurate.
Fofana. All right, let's move on to Wesley Fofana. Starting with you, Tobago, since you gave such a very short answer, what's your thoughts on Wesley Fofana performance today?
Man, I thought he was okay, but man, that silly mistake he did there for the World King chance. If Sanchez didn't save that, man, the scoreline could have been different. But besides that, I think he played very well. Hopefully, Sinjar is not that bad because We need him. We need every player. Just like Bobby used to say, we need every player available for us to be strong. So hopefully it's not a bad injury.
All right. How about you, Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've always liked Wesley. I think he's an excellent defender. He's young as well. He's learning his trade as well. He's a developing player as well. He's returning from injury, so getting into his rhythm as well. So this injury is not really going to be that great because he does. Last thing he needs is having any sort of long layoff again and then having to build his muscles back and his rhythm back. And I feel for him. I don't really blame him for that, the way he was beaten by Ollie Watkins. I think it was a little bit of Watkins' change of direction and him tripping over his own feet. It can happen. I wouldn't. Oh, Liverpool just hit the post. I wouldn't blame him for that, but I think he has a future. He's a unique defender in that he doesn't really look like a defender. He looks more like a midfielder because he can maraud forward with the ball, but he's a hustler. You know, he wins the ball in the air, he wins the ball on the ground. There were many a time Aston Villa tried to spread it out wide and he snuffed it out. You know, he was part of the reason they were left at odds. They didn't know how to deal with us. And oh shit, they've scored. And a lot of that was down to him. So you know, I think he did okay. Yeah, he do better, of course. That error, would it be counted against him? Certainly not by me. I think we'll miss him when he's out injured. I hope we don't have to play any big teams as such, and he can come back in time to face them because he's very useful against these sort of teams. You know, he's a problem back there for anybody. So yeah, I'm a huge Wesley Fofana fan, and I really, really hope this injury is not going to last. And I think Man City, look, oh my goodness, this is so bad. Why didn't we play them when they were like this?
That's the
You know
same
what I
thing I
mean?
was saying, sir Bobby. You're in my
Oh,
brain.
this
Yeah.
is just, they're
Yeah.
terrible. Oh my
Right.
goodness.
Uh,
This could be about
right.
4 or 5 today against them.
Right. Garvin, since you chimed in here, what's your thoughts on Wesley Fofana's performance?
I got a few things to say about him, to be honest. For a guy that coming off such a massive injury season last season, I think he's taking too much risk because even that injury is something that he could avoid. You know, the chance he get to head the ball away, you know, he try to fake the striker and then turn to control the ball, and that's something that put a lot on the muscle. Dante probably can say something about this too, because you know, Ty, I always tell you about my knee injury that was in my career, and for a player that's so tall, you know, that's a lot of pressure on the knee. So those little turns that he always trying to make as a defender, you know, you have to learn how to cut those out of his game for now until he can get back up to full fitness. But he's the best
Fair
defender we
enough.
have
How
over
about
him.
you, Dante?
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry about
100%,
that,
Gavin.
Garvin.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
just
go
to
No,
ahead,
answer Gavin,
Dante.
yeah, 100%, Gavin. He has to look. We were joking when I said he's got the KK leg. He's got that's always going to have injury problems unless he realizes that play a bit more safe and not do exactly what you said there, because his legs, the way they are, the way he's built, the way his bone structure is and like that, he's got to be very careful when he does that every time. And yeah, unfortunately in his career, and again now, he's always injured. He always gets injured because the way he plays, the way he turns, and yeah, how aggressive he is. 100% correct, Gavin. But something he has to manage, something they have to look at him closely and they have to monitor and really work with him on 100%, because otherwise he's just always going to be injured. And like I said, I've said this, we were joking because he's got the KK legs, but It's true, unfortunately. I've seen it. I had a teammate exactly the same problems all the time. Every season injured. Amazing player. Also a defender, tall, but because of that exact running style and because his knees were like that, every season he was injured. Either hamstring or knee. Hamstring, knee, hamstring, knee. They're both connected, obviously. So the way you play that way. So the sports science and that, they got to be very careful with him. They have to look at him and try to teach him a little bit different, but it is very hard to do that. It's not easy to do that, unfortunately. But yeah, I think he's going to have this problem all his career, to be honest. So yeah, that's why when I said that he's got the KK leg, yeah, I was joking, but I'm also serious. It is a problem, and if not handled properly, you're always going to get injuries. And that's exactly what we've seen with Fofana, unfortunately. But yeah, I do like him. I like the defender he is. I like the aggressive nature, how he plays. And I think we need a defender like that back there. We also need a calm head next to him, a calm presence next to him, and to have that balance. But yeah, now it will change a little bit now. Obviously, he's not going to play. It's a hamstring, they said. So yeah, which I thought it was. It's probably going to be out around 4 weeks. So he's going to be pretty much out all December. He'll probably going to be back in January, most likely. So he's going to miss a lot of games. But look, we do have a little bit of depth. We've got Badia Shield that can slot into that position a little bit. We've got Tosin, of course, that we're yet to see really get a chance, which I would like to see him get a chance in that position at the moment. Because I think he'll probably play well there with Colwell. He can let Colwell do all that stuff, and he can, stay back and basically sweep and direct everything, which he's done amazingly well. And I gave him a lot of credit during the week against Heidenheim because Tosin, in that second half, the way he set up the defense, and if you watched him, the way he led that line, that offside line, everyone across right on the line, he was screaming, everyone always organizing. That's what you need back there. And I think that's a little bit lacking with Colwell. Like I said earlier, he's just not that guy yet. It's not in his nature right now. He will probably be there, but not at the moment. And it's not really in where's his Fofana nature either. He, like I said, he's aggressive. He gets out, he goes strolling and tackles and jumps in the air and runs with the ball, makes runs. So yeah, we'll wait and see. But he fills in. But yeah, that's what I think on that one.
Right, let's move on to Cucurella. Bobby, starting with you. How would you say Cucurella did today?
Now, Cucurella, gosh, I mean, he's really becoming the man. Cucurella, he didn't put a foot wrong today. Aerial clearances, pace when needed, blocks, winning the ball, offensive play. Honestly, we're looking for man of the match. Cucurella isn't far off that today. I have no complaints about his performance. Cucurella has become a key part of this Chelsea team, and certainly the first name on the team sheet when we're playing important games. He's got to be there. He played well today, excellent today, if you ask me.
How about you, Dante? What do you think?
Yeah, very solid game. I think our best defender definitely on the day. Continued his solid form that he's carried on from the Euros. Every game he's played, he hasn't put a foot wrong, basically. So yeah, definitely our best defender. And like Bobby says, yeah, I think he's extremely important on that left-hand side. He can play that left center back if we need. He can invert if we need. You can play out wide if we need, more traditional, or a little bit going a bit forward like we saw the other game. So his versatility and just his tenacity, he really makes it really hard for the opposition that man is facing, especially on that right-hand side. As we've seen so far against Saka and many of them this season, it's very hard to beat him. And yeah, good luck. He's definitely the best left back in the Premier League. They're saying, yeah, I think he's probably the best left back in the world at the moment, if not top 2, top 3, 100%.
Gavin?
I agree with what Dante said. Right now, he is the best left back in the world to me because he's a man that reborn. Like This Cucurella was the Cucurella we signed in the first place from Brighton. You know, we all was sitting here and wondering if we're gonna see Cucurella, but now he arrived, and I think right now on form he is the best left back in the world. He proved it for Spain in the Euros, and he continually prove it week in week out with Chelsea. I haven't seen any left back right now that's in better form than Cucurella right now. Today he got a magnificent game. That's why I was saying I couldn't even pick a man of the match today because of Cucurella performance.
Did he get the
Was
assist
excellent.
as well, or I can't remember?
Yes, he get their first
Yes, he did,
assist.
yeah. So yeah, he's definitely more deserving, especially with that assist. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of man of the match, 100% more than Palmer. Yep.
Right, fair enough. Fair enough. Let's move on to Casado. What's the Casado? How do you rate his performance today, Garvin?
From the season start, from the from last season, the end of last season, the form continually. I'm surprised that he's not more like the vice captain than Enzo, but he's a leader on the pitch. Honestly, he keep on pushing the team. You can see that this guy is finally growing into Chelsea. So for me, excellent performance again.
All right, short and sweet. How about you, Bobby?
Yeah, I have to echo a lot of that. Caicedo has found his place. He is a leader. He's the engine there in that team. He's part of the defense, part of the offense. He's everywhere. I couldn't fault him today. We're looking for man of the match. He will be amongst them. Indeed, if we're looking for man of the match between him and Cucurella, I would only just about give it to Cucurella. But Caicedo, my goodness, he really is our midfield general. He is every bit the player we wanted to buy and have bought. You see, when a player performs
All right, how
like
about
he
you,
does,
Dante?
you quickly forget the price tag.
Yeah. Like
Fair
Bobby
enough.
said, 100%. Look, I thought he a couple of times in that first half, he was a bit out of position, a little bit if I'm to criticize, and I am nitpicking. Getting back into that right back, that's where Aston Villa tried to exploit us. They saw that as probably our weakness because they knew probably he's gonna have to rush back into that position if they get possession on the counter, and they did a couple of times. And yeah, he was caught out a couple of times there, a little bit high up the pitch, but other than that, yeah, he's another one of those versatile players that can do it all. You saw today playing the right back, converting. Very solid performance, as again from the start of the season. Him and Cucurella, the two probably standouts that have been very consistent, like extremely consistent, solid game, one after another, not one poor performance. So yeah, very happy for Caicedo, 100%. Very solid player we have there on our hands, and he's only going to get better, a little bit better and stronger, hopefully. And yeah, and he's young and he's developing into a leader, like Bobby said there. Yep. Enzo and him together, they're definitely both developing into a leader.
Fair enough. Let's move on to Lavia. Starting with you, Garvin.
What can I say about Lavia? To be honest, there's many things we can say about Lavia, and for me, he's not saying he's a surprise, but I was eager last season to see what he can do for what I see from Southampton and Man City youth team. I know there's a player there. Honestly, I was excited when we signed him, but now Lavia fit Lavia, to show you the class of midfield and what he brings to Chelsea. Like, I'm just glad we signed him, to be quite honest.
Fair enough. How about you, Dante?
Yeah, like Gavin says, glad we signed him. Still developing as well, still a very young player, so he's got a lot of improvement to do. But so far, so good. He's looked good in that defensive midfield role. He's very good against the press. He can turn, he can get out of it. spreads the ball, wide, like a couple of good forward passes. Probably part of his game that he has got to improve a little bit more is the more forward aspect of, going a little bit more sort of a bit more aggressive as like in an attacking phase, but not really. He's there for a reason to sit there in that defensive area and clean up everything, and then in possession, hold possession, and link up the play, basically beat the press. So yeah, again, strong, very strong player especially for his age. He's very physically strong, very good with the ball at his feet, nice technique as well. Again, another one that seems a lot more older and more mature, but he's actually one of the youngest guys we have. So yeah, impressive to see. And again, he's only going to get better as well. He's going to get even more stronger, and again, probably add that extra level to his game, a bit more offensive, thinking in his game.
Fair enough. How about you, Bobby?
Yeah, I think Matt Lavia was massive today. As young as he is, it's frightening to think he's developing still. He's an excellent player. He was one of the reasons they hesitated to try and press us, because not since Kovacic have we had a player you simply cannot press. His close control is excellent. Yeah, maybe a few dodgy forward balls, but his job was to try and intimidate that central compactness they had and thread balls through. And sometimes he succeeded. Enzo was also tasked with that, and they succeeded at times. And I can't fault Lavia today. I thought he had a really, really good game. Battling, you want to go tough, he will go toe to toe with you. You want to play the skill game, he will play that with you. I think Lavia is a mercurial player. We just need to keep him fit, keep him, develop him, and he's going to be huge for us in midfield. Absolutely.
Just to add to that, Bobby, as well, a little fact. So Lavia, we know he's young. He was 19, turned 20. So he's actually grown up. He's grown an inch. So he was 180. Now he's 181. Wouldn't that be
Wow.
something if he grows another couple of inches, goes up to like like a more physical, taller player, which I know you love, of course, but that would really add to his game if he gets a little bit taller and taller, because he's still got a couple of years, maybe another year to grow. But he's grown an inch over the last year, so there could be a little bit more of a growth spurt there, and maybe another couple of inches. That makes a big difference as well. That I'm sure you'll like to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, why I favor the big guys a bit in the Premier League is that I know the mentality. The mentality is to bully, and if you can bully someone, you win the game. And I hate seeing my team getting shoved off the ball. Big guys coming and knocking you aside. You must stand up for yourself in the Premier League. It's a fight. It is a fight. I mean, we go there, we watch these games, and if you're there watching it up close and personal, you see the tackles, you see the little shoulder barges, and the opposition is always trying to intimidate you. And if you stand up to them, you then win that right to play. And this is what we did today. Villa tried it, they couldn't do it. So we won the fight for the right to play, and we got our right to play, and dealt with them basically. We gave them a bloody nose today. So that's why I think in the team, certainly in sort of defensive midfield, defense, you've got to have the big guys. There's no getting away from that in the Premier League.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's move on to Enzo Fernandez. And by the way, coach, no, I was waiting to see if we had anything else to say before I spoke. My mic is not muted us any time at all. So Enzo Fernandez, I'm going to start with Dante because I want to see if he agrees with what coach loves to say about Enzo. So Dante, what do you
Coach
have to
is
say about
just
his performance
Coach
today?
is just jealous because your microphone has better color than his. That's all. So he's just jealous. Don't worry about him. Yeah, Enzo Fernandez. We're talking about man of the match. Yeah, he's right up there. I think he definitely had a great game, contributed well. Was a little bit worried that he's playing in that 10 sort of second 10 position, 8/10. We haven't seen him be as effective up there. In this game, he was quite effective, but I think what's he's added to his game, which I've seen probably the last 2 to 3 games, that he really hasn't really done that much. He's been the guy on the pitch that's run the most kilometers. So he's actually getting back, running left, right, forward, everywhere. He's a bit all over the pitch. And I think that's really important because he never was that type of player. And now the last 3 games, like I said, he's been doing that. And in the game against Leicester, he was for the whole season. He was by far he ran the most kilometers in the game, as in distance covered, for the whole season out of any Chelsea player. So I think that he's adding this to his game at the moment, and that's really helping him, especially like Bobby said, in the Premier League. That really helps you, a bit of that physicality, but also that running ability to be able to do that and get the bumps. Like you said, people's going to bump you, they're going to hit you, they're going to tackle you. That takes a lot out of you as well. So I think he's improved his fitness quite a bit. For me, it's noticeable. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that, but for me, I've definitely seen it the last few games. His fitness has gone up another little notch, and that's really added to his game because we know he's got the technique, he's got the vision, he's got all that. And now adding that to his game, I think that's just taking him up to another little level. So yeah, and like the coach says there, he also arrives in the box more often than usual, and exactly what I'm saying, Coach. Maresca's challenged him on that, and I think he's had to work on his fitness a little bit, maybe lose a kilo or 2, and also about his fitness. And I keep coming back to this. This is the age when, just from personal experience and from just playing the game from a lot of players I've known, that's the age when you start really building that tank where you can do that. So 23, that's when you some players get 22, 23, 24. Those are the 3 years there. You break out and you go up a level in fitness where you just feel like your body, you can just run. You can just basically run all game, where before you couldn't really do that. And Lavia is a good example of that. You can see him. That's why he stays mostly in that position. He's not that type of player that he can run even like Enzo Fernandez. People think he's slow, but Lavia cannot do what Enzo Fernandez does at the moment. He hasn't got that yet because he's so young. And I've seen it many times. If he goes a bit too much, he's out of breath completely, Lavia, because he's a bigger guy as well, more muscly, stronger. But yeah, 100%. I think you can probably say him man of the match. He's my man of the match, and Cucurella. Those 2 for me were the man of the match. For me, they were the 2 most outstanding players, definitely.
Fair enough. How about you, Gavin?
I'm gonna say, Enzo always turn up against Aston Villa, and I still want to see more from him because I know he got more in his tank, and I would love to see more from him. And I'm gonna give fair play to Enzo Maresca because he finally find a place or a way out to put him in the team where you can see the best of him. Last season, my take on it. Because the way we set up and the way we were using him, make it seems like he wasn't a good player. But I'm gonna say, well done to him because the last couple games you can see why we spend that big money.
Wow.
Well, and he
Gavin
was still
is
doing that
giving fair.
celebration, the phone call celebration in the goal that he scored.
Yeah,
Ran in the corner,
yeah. He's saying,
slid
"Call
down on
me."
the floor, and held that phone call for a long time. I wonder what he's still implying with that.
Yeah. Mm. Right. So we've been going. We've been going for an hour, and just for the sake of giving everybody a little breather, let's take a short intermission. All right, let's move on to Pedro Neto. Starting with you, Bobby.
I
How do
didn't
you
talk
say
Is there
about
any,
Pedro
is
Neto?
there any
I
time?
didn't talk
5
about
seconds we
Enzo
get
yet.
at all? 5 seconds.
Oh, my
I did,
bad, Bobby, my bad. You can go
yeah,
ahead, go ahead, Bobby. My
yeah. I mean,
apologies.
I agree with what's been said about him. What I'll add to that is that Enzo Fernandez is an artist, and Maresca has seen his artistry and has encouraged him to get more into the box. Maresca really understands that that's a quality of his game that will be very productive or more productive for the team. Um, what I like about Enzo, and I've noticed about these South American kids, and indeed, a lot of the African kids as well. These kids from the developing world, more or less, they're tough cookies. It's not about size with them. In fact, probably the smaller they are, the tougher they are. Enzo doesn't like to be bullied. Sometimes the bigger guys do get the better of him, as you even saw in that game. But he is tenacious. He keeps fighting. You won't see him curl up and get really bumped off the ball like some wimp. He's gonna try and stand his ground, which is important in the Premier League. I mentioned this thing about intimidation. Intimidation is a big part of English football, and if you're intimidated, you will lose. This is what is done in the Premier League. It's not a finesse league. Yes, you can have finesse teams, but those finesse teams fight to be able to play finesse in a finesse way. So you give Enzo some backup and you will see the best of Enzo, which is what we're seeing now. He is indeed, evolving into his own. The manager knows how to use him effectively. And what I like so much about this Enzo is that not only of his constant running and getting into the box and laying up play, is the fight. I like the fight. McGinn tried it. He didn't get the better of him at all. One or two players perhaps did because that was the size differential. But he's tenacious. He reminds me a lot in that sense of some of you may not know him, but the old Dennis Wise. Little fella, Chelsea captain, early to late 90s, but he was a fighter. He was so tenacious. It was very difficult to get the better of him, and Enzo is of that stock. So long as you have enough and you don't fully put that on his shoulders to hold the midfield, he will always be a threat, and he did that today and against Leicester, I will add.
Yeah, fair enough. Just so I can give you a breather, I'm gonna go to Dante to speak about Pedro Neto. Oh, you did, Dante. All right, look like Dante's Wi-Fi has kicked him off. Garvin.
What can I say about Neto? Man, Neto. Man, thank God that we signed Neto. If I'm allowed to say that, you know, um, Neto, man, brings something, a breath of fresh air to Chelsea Football Club. I'm so glad that this season we can keep him fit, and we can really see what Neto is about. To me, Neto is unstoppable when he's playing, and he give us a different dimension because with Nodi Madueke, it's easy to read what Nodi Madueke is gonna do, but with Neto, you don't know if he's gonna go on the left, on the right, or he's gonna driver, or he's gonna just put it across, with either foot. So it's something different that the opponent hard to really study. It's a blessing that Enzo saw what we saw, or what we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. That Madueke can need to sit on the bench. It's something that I'm very very interested to see for the remainder of the season. But for me, Neto, excellent game today.
100% agree with you. And just to add to that as well, Neto has proven to me that he it was a good thing that we signed him. Obviously we know that Arsenal wanted him as well, and the thing that I want Neto to do now and change the narrative around him as well is that I want him to start scoring more goals. He can create and he'll do everything else, but he needs to start scoring. He hasn't done that at Wolves. He didn't do it at Wolves rather, and I'd like to see him score more goals as well. But yeah, over to you, Bobby. Uh, Let me know what you think about Neto's performance.
Yeah, Neto is showing he's the man, isn't he? I mean, my goodness, Neto has got to be on that team sheet. You're playing the big games, you've got to have Neto. He can get you anything at any time. I agree, perhaps he should score more, but he's really only getting started, if you ask me. I think Neto is an excellent player. Like Cucurella is a sure thing for, if you want to call it, the first 11. He has to be there. He simply has to be there. We've got to keep him fit. I'm glad we're not looking to flog him in every single game. I'm glad he didn't play at Leicester City. We needed him to rest after the international break where he got a little bit of a knock. And you could see he was fresh for 90 minutes. Next thing is we've got Southampton on Wednesday. Will they push him out then? They might rotate him a little bit, maybe a little bit in the second half. That's where we are now. This is why you need to rotate the squad. This is why you have to have players on the bench. We get so up in arms when these players are rotated or on the bench. Now you can actually see why. Keep them fresh, keep them at their best, and help them to be able to deal with the staggering workload that will come their way, especially this December period. But yeah, Neto is priceless. I'm so glad we got him. I really am so glad we got him. Imagine Neto being purchased by someone like City or Arsenal or Liverpool. I mean, that's a problem. He's an excellent player. He really is one of our best players.
So, are you back, Dante?
I am sorry for that. I had to go get a drink and go to the toilet, and I'm a bit slow at the moment. It took me a while to do that. Sorry. I'm not up to speed yet, unfortunately. Still moving quite slow, but getting better.
Right. How would you say Neto performed?
Yeah, like Bobby said, he's so important. Thank God Arsenal didn't sign him, or Man City is 100%, especially probably Arsenal. Look, very important. He does all that dirty work as well. He runs back. He's very good in defense, like Coach is saying there in the chat. Very helpful in defense, and he's very strong as well. He's a physical winger, so he's very strong. Gets in the challenge there, doesn't get bumped off the ball very easily. So he'll hold that position a lot of the times very well. And yeah, he's looking to make others better around him. He's looking to assist first, and yeah, very much a team player. His shooting is very good as well, like Robbie said. And yeah, probably on the sort of, on the right, the left, I think he plays a little bit differently when he plays on the right. He's got that ability to cut in and shoot a lot more. He's much more comfortable doing that. On the left, more of definitely more looking to create a little bit more. So not as comfortable to shoot on his right as he is on his left. So although he plays well both feet, but just from what I've noticed. But yeah, very good to have. And yeah, played the full minutes as well here. So we might see him maybe not play the next game midweek. Like Bobby said, he's one of those that we have to be very careful with. He's got a future as well. don't want to overplay him. You got to be careful with him and really manage him as well. So, but yeah, very happy for him, and I'm very glad we got him. Exactly, yeah, 100%.
Right, fair enough, fair enough. And it's time for us to move on to the one that's icy, the one that is cold, cold Palmer. Okay, I think Gavin is that Gavin? Gavin is back. Starting with you, Gavin. How would you say Palmer performed today? I know you're gonna be critical for sure.
Um, not to what I expect, to be quite honest. I think he would more involved in the game a little bit, but as Sir Bobby was saying earlier, he said either Sir Bobby or Dante. I think since that tackle on his knee, we can't sit here and blame him. You can definitely see that take a little bit of strive out of his game. For the recent games, I think it's time for us to consider probably against Southampton. To probably give him a rest and give Joe Felix a start. To kind of take him out of the limelight, because this team is building right now, not Cole Palmer FC anymore. So I think that we should protect him a little bit, and take him out of the limelight a little bit. But I think that his performance, today was just a regular one, nothing fantastic. The goal was good, the assist was good, but I don't think it was nothing magnificent like the rest of players, who I think deserve man of the match more. But Cole Palmer is Cole Palmer.
Yeah, fair enough. Cole Palmer is indeed Cole Palmer. Dante, what you have to say about his performance? I think you probably touched on it slightly before, but for those who
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was the one that
joined
said that,
now.
Gavin. Yes, yeah, you can definitely see. I can see it's affecting him, and he's not working back the other way as hard either. So that tells me, because we've seen before that, he always worked quite a lot on the pitch, defensive side of the game. He's not doing that hardly at all at the moment. Playing a bit of close attention. He's not. Yeah, he's not really interested in the defensive side of things as much. So that, to me, 100% is telling me that that's still bothering him. And like I said, I can see it when he turns, a couple of turns, his leg / knee, whatever, buckles a little bit. And that's, because it doesn't feel as comfortable to plant on that foot. So it's definitely affected him. And he probably has to be managed a little bit. And I agree, I would rest him for Southampton. I wouldn't play him in such a quick turnaround, another 90 minutes. I think you can afford to put Felix in that game. And you can always obviously substitute him if you really need him, but I think Felix has probably deserved that chance to do that, and that's what we've got the big squad for as well, to rotate, especially with this tough period coming up. So, yeah, I'd like to see him, basically iced a little bit, for the next game, and really maybe rehab that knee and just have a look at it. Like I said, players, they're not gonna say, if they're sore like that, you'll get a bit of inflammation in that. They're just not going to say, because they just want to play. And he's got the quality, as we saw today, even though they're not playing well, he's still got the quality to finish that way. So he's still got that quality, but I think, just not really helping the team that much in the rest of, especially the other games where he was very, very not involved at all. Today was a little bit, but then again, it wasn't really that much involved, to be honest, today as well. He really wasn't moving as well. So I understand they're playing him, especially it was a home game as well. But I think, especially for the next game, please put him on ice and take care of him, because I think there's definitely a little bit. He's probably just too proud to say it, that, his knee's a little bit sore. It's a bit hurting, probably, they did the ice baths after the physio, everything, he's not going to ask for a scan. So, players like that, from experience, they never say they have an injury, and then if you do a scan, you'll see that he's actually there's quite a lot of swelling in there. So just please, we need to be careful with him.
Fair enough, fair enough. How about you, Bobby?
Yeah, that is very correct. Cole Palmer didn't have his best games today, but his extremely high standards. I would rest him. I think both Nkunku and Felix need to start against Southampton. I mean, it's not even, you can't even say no disrespect to Southampton. Those guys are probably amongst some of the best in the world. So they are more than capable um, of being rotated. We need to start to use the rotation. There is no um, um, Conference League till the next week. So our extra game is a Premier League game. So that should satisfy them. They can't say they're not starting in the Premier League. They need to start. Jackson needs to be on the bench. Cole Palmer needs to be on the bench. I would even bench Lavia for that one because we've got Spurs coming up next. And these guys are, we have to keep people fresh. Um, uh, Neto, I would have him on the bench. Maybe start Madueke, Modric. We've got to do this. And it's no slight on the opposition. This is why we play certain players in that Conference League to have them rehearsed, ready, and prepared for such a time as this. So the time has come, and we've got to, certainly in Cole Palmer's case, at least have him on the bench. He's not been great. He is, maybe carrying a nickel. I don't know if that's the reason, or he's just lost a little bit of form, a little bit of extra marking. It's all good. It's not a bad thing. His goal reminded us what a great player he is, and he will continue to be that great player, even if once in a while, he dips in form a little bit. I mean, we're saying dip in form. Look at the standards he's set for himself when a player can score that kind of goal and we can still say he's dipped in form. Well, there you go. So, but we have to preserve him. We shouldn't start him in the next game.
Fair enough, fair enough. Big up to you, DJ. Says big up Ty, Bobby, JFC, Garvan, and Dante. Everyone in the chat. Big up to
Big
you
up,
too.
DJ.
On my way back home now from the match. How long you on for, Ty? Actually, I think we can probably wrap this up after speaking about Jackson, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, let's move on to the one and only Nicolas Jackson. Starting with you. Oh, by the way, before I do that, big up to you, Nehemiah Fowley as well. Big up to you. Thank you for joining as well. Starting with you, Garvan. How do you see Nicolas Jackson did today?
As usual, Ty, you know my take on it. I'm gonna spread this word until people start to give this guy his respect. For me, it's better than Erling Allen. The finishing is coming. He's still got more to improve on because, as Sir Bobby said earlier, when you get one goal, in games like these, and you get so many opportunity, you need to kill it off. Come home with a hat trick. But until then, wonderful performance. We keep on growing week in, week out. So for me, Nicholas Jackson, man, good performance.
All right. How about you, Bobby?
Yeah, I have to sort of agree. Nicolas Jackson is definitely a better footballer than Erling Haaland. Without any shadow of a doubt, he is. Is he a better finisher? That becomes debatable. He could have had three today. A couple you can't blame him for. One you can blame him for. He must keep that level of hunger and alertness. That one goal, I've scored it, right, forget it, I've got to keep going. And he needs that eye of the tiger in these instances. I think it will come. I look at him as perhaps one of the most improved players we've got in our squad. I like Nicolas Jackson. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if because of him, well, we certainly won't get, although, he's going away on the African Cup of Nations, but there's Nkunku. So, we certainly won't be looking at a striker to come into the team before summer. And if one does, he's got a battle on his hands, because Nicholas is really an excellent player. He really is. And you're right. I think he doesn't always get the credit he deserves, because people are more focused on his misses than on what he actually does for the team and his goals. The goal he scored today was an excellent goal, but he must make himself more clinical, so that, everyone gets off his back and starts noticing all the other things he does for the team.
Fair enough. How about you, Dante?
Yeah, look, he had an okay game. I wouldn't go to that extent to saying he's better than Haaland. It's not quite there. The finishing is not quite right there. As a pure striker, obviously Haaland's better, but yeah, of course Jackson's much better in other at the facets of the game. But yeah, today, look, good finish, good shot. But again, when Villa were in a low block, which they decided to do quite a bit in that first half, he wasn't really that involved again. Yeah, he got that goal, a little bit of a break sort of, and he got that goal, good first time shot, which he's got to do a lot more of, which is great to see. I was so happy to see that. Take those early shots, because you never know. There's people in front of you. You got to risk sometimes, and that's one criticism. Doesn't take enough shots, to be honest. So yeah, it was great to see him do that. That was amazing. But after that, he went a bit quiet. He wasn't as involved. Again, the low block affected him again. Couldn't really get into the game. The second half, then when it opened up a bit more, especially Villa had to, then you saw him again get back into the game and show what he can do when he has space. But yeah, so he put that one away, probably the much harder chance, and the more easier chances when he had to take a nice touch, the more easier chances he didn't quite finish. So still plenty of improvement to go with him. And I still want to see him improve a lot more, especially against when teams are low block like that. Because he finds it very difficult to get into the game in that situation and actually contribute. Because after that shot, there was no other shots. There was nothing, pretty much nothing. It was just a little bit of link-up play in there, but he couldn't do much because there's no space. And that's where he struggles a lot. And we saw that again today. So, yeah, I'll praise him 100%. I do love Nicolas Jackson, and he's got plenty of learning to do and get better. And each week looks like he's getting a little bit better, learning, doing, like I said, first-time shots like he did today. Perfect, wonderful, great to see. But, yeah, still got a long way to go to be a clinical striker like Erling Haaland did. How many goals he scored. So, yep, he'll definitely be better 100% as he gets older. But yeah, I wouldn't put him on that high pedestal just as yet.
Right, can I defend myself before you go to that? All right.
Sure.
If
I was hoping you would.
If you look at Nicolas Jackson, right? Look at how he played for the team, as Sir Bobby was saying earlier. Look how deep he's been making his run from last season till now. And if you check Erling Haaland movements, Erling Haaland stay close to the last defender to normally get a tap in or to stay on side. But look on the work rate that Nicolas Jackson put in for his team compared to Erling Haaland. So how can I sit here and say that he's better than Nicolas Jackson when I see the performance week in, week out? Erling Haaland, if you put Erling Haaland to do what Nicolas Jackson are doing, he does not score as much goal as Nicolas Jackson have been scoring. Because Nicolas Jackson, the second one that they play over the top, look how far he's coming from to get on the end of that. As a striker, that can show you off most of the times, but he can't show only doing it. So you can see the development in Nicolas Jackson all around game. Then Erling Haaland just stand up and wait for it, man. I can't give him the praise until I see him start to do something different.
Yeah, I get what you say, Gavin. I get it, but scoring and finishing, and Haaland is a beast at that, and he's proven that. He's won leagues for Man City. He's broken records, scoring records. Yeah, I can't put Jackson up to that pedestal because of that. Yeah, different team, different system, but different player as well, of course. But I did say that as a pure finisher and striker, yeah, you can't put him up higher than Erling Haaland because He has not done that yet at all.
All right.
What has Nicolas Jackson done that yet? I understand he's getting better. He can be better in the future and maybe do that, but not at the current moment, especially. And you say that Haaland can run in behind. Of course he can. He's a lot of his goals are running in behind. He's got pace. He's got power. He's a beast in the air. Erling Haaland scored every type of goal you can imagine. He scored all of them, everything. I think people have a short memory of that one, how good he actually was last season, the season before that, and before that as well. Before he joined City as well. So he's got it all. It's just the way he plays. He conserves energy, and yes, it's also down to the system, to how Man City play. He's got a different job, completely different. But yeah, I just can't give Nicolas Jackson that. Hasn't done anything yet for me to. If he continues this form and has an amazing season and scores, 25 goals plus or whatever, maybe close to 30 goals or whatever, then maybe you can have that conversation. But he's not in the conversation at the moment.
Just can I
Interesting.
add my 2 cents to this?
Definitely.
Just sort of reiterating what I was saying about him. I think, I don't think he's a better finisher than Erling Haaland. And by the way, this is in no means saying Erling Haaland is not a great player. But I think he's a better footballer than Erling Haaland. And by that, I think on the ball, positional sense, dropping back, carrying the ball, and that sort of thing, he is a better player. Now, people don't really give him credit for that because of his misses. His misses are so frustrating that people tend to focus on that more so than his ability on the ball and also his creativity. He does create for other offensive players like your Maduekes and your Palmers from time to time. But has he got there yet? No, he hasn't. To be honest, he's not achieved what Haaland has achieved yet. Albeit Haaland, to be fair, has been playing in a more complete team. And Haaland, I think, if he was in a Chelsea situation, I think he would struggle a little bit more, more than he is at Man City. So, it's always going to be a bit of an open argument. Is he better than Haaland? It wouldn't be fair to say he is now, but in certain aspects of the game, like his footballing quality, I really believe he is.
My take
Fair
on it,
enough.
though,
Fair
why
enough.
I
Fair
say he's
enough.
better than Erling Allen. Erling Allen is just a passenger, man. Like, if you watch Erling Allen play, to be quite different from the goal, why would you pay your money to go watch him? That's just my take on it. I wouldn't pay a cent to go watch Erling Allen, different from the goals that he scores. He's just like a passenger.
He still works pretty hard, Gavin. He runs, he tackles, he chases, he presses. He's physical. Like I said, different profile, different size, different type of player. You can't
Is my
quite
Chelsea bias,
compare them the
Dante?
same, but you can't say he doesn't put in work because he does put in a lot of work still. If you really look at it, you'll see his running numbers. He runs, he chases, he gets involved, he gets in tackles. He still tries, but it's the setup of the team. He doesn't need to do what Nicolas Jackson does for us because that's not the team that he's in. He's not set up for that. So that's different. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I can't go to that level yet, unfortunately. Once Nicolas Jackson puts, a couple of seasons together of, 25 plus goals and we're up there and he's leading the line and, we're in Champions League and we're doing well and competing for the title, we can have a different conversation. But till then, it's just not possible. And pretty much what's on the screen there, yeah, we are still looking for a striker. So if we do bring a striker in, a quality striker like Gyökeres, well, that will change things up a bit differently as well. So,
You see, that's where my take come on it. Like, we always said, oh, we need a striker. What about the one that we got? Like, Nicolas Jackson gets so much stick, underrated since this guy come into the league. Is just like someone have to stand up for him. If I'm gonna be the only one,
And
I'll
I
keep
was
my
one of them
Chelsea
that
hat
stood
on.
up for him from the start. You can ask coach on the chat. I love
No,
Nicolas Jackson.
not
I
saying
love
you, Dante. I'm saying on the wider scale. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so
People
many.
that
Yeah,
don't know football properly and don't watch, it's only about goals and assists and whatever. Only the highlights. Well, yeah, of course. People that don't really watch, like Bobby was saying and you were saying, the work that he puts in, the link up play, what he offers to the team, and as a footballer, yeah, it's a massive difference. Yes, but yeah, I agree with that. But we still do need another striker, even if we got Nicolas Jackson. If you're still that guy, you need two strikers. It's not one. You still need another one. You need that competition if you want to win the Premier League and if you want to compete in the Champions League, you need two top strikers up front. You can't just have one with Nicolas Jackson, because what happens if Nicolas Jackson goes down?
100% agree. But my question is to you and Sir Bobby. If we're say we're gonna get a striker, right? What type of striker would you guys really go for? You would go for
Yep.
someone similar to Nicolas
Let
Jackson or
I'm
someone
gonna
different?
cut you.
Let Ty cut him for that one. Yeah.
I'm gonna cut you. I'm gonna cut you right there. I'm gonna cut you
You're
right
tapping
there
him. You're tapping it
because
in,
you
Gavin.
yeah, exactly, because we've had this on the screen for a while now, and well, my boss was directing it specifically to me, but we're a panel here, so I'm going to expand it to you guys as well, and I have this photo here. So who do you guys think lead the line? This was our episode of Chelsea Socials. It wasn't discussed in full. Bobby was on it, but as Garvin just said, I'm going to tap in on what he just said. Which profile do you guys think is best for Chelsea to go for? There's some options here. Obviously, there could be more. You could suggest other players who may not be in this image right here. Starting with you, Dante.
Probably not Osimhen. No, not Osimhen. Gyökeres, yes, 100%. Sesko as well. That could be an option as well. Osimhen, no. Nkunku, probably not. I don't think he's an out-and-out striker. Can he play the system? He can play the system, but I don't think he's an out-and-out striker. And we've seen that Maresca doesn't really favor him for most of the games because of that. Jackson's there, even though Nkunku's an amazing player, has got great skills, attacking skills, shooting, everything. He still prefers Jackson because a lot of the stuff we talked about before. So I see him more as a second striker, not even a 10 to be honest, because he's not really a creator as much in Nkunku. I think there'll be, we'll see about Nkunku, but I think there's a strong possibility he may leave. And I think will bring another striker in that can do stuff that Jackson does, but also can do stuff that Jackson doesn't, which is more the headers, the crosses in the box that come in, the more physical stuff as well, a bit more of a traditional as well striker, the finishing and stuff like that. So I think Gyökeres is probably perfect for that. He probably fits that mold as well. And to a lesser extent, probably also Sesko a little bit fits that mold as well. But I think Gyökeres is definitely the sort of perfect sort of striker, the all-around striker, complete striker that can do a bit of everything and what Nicolas Jackson, but a little bit more on top. He can lead the line as well, can do all that as well. Has the height, the physicality, the strength, maturity, and I think those two will complement each other very well. Especially, of course, in the Champions League, you need another player because you can't play, Jackson and you need to rotate them. Basically, you can't play 2-3 games in a row if we're going to get into the Champions League. Because I'm sure we're going to be in Europe either way. We'll be in Europe. Hopefully, it's Champions League. Worst case, Europa League, but we will be most likely in the Champions League, in my opinion. So you need that extra quality striker. And this is not saying he's going to take Jackson's spot, but it's not saying it's going to be Jackson's spot either. He comes in. I'm sure if Gyökeres, we sign him, the money is whatever it is fine. That's fine. But they will compete, and Maresca will choose which one he prefers, what he sees at training, what he sees in form, like he keeps speaking about. Whoever stands out more and puts the hard work in and that he thinks suits most, he will play them. So I think definitely, we need Gyökeres. That'll be that will put us to the next level, another striker like that.
How about you, Garvin?
I'm gonna say I'm 100% with Dante. What Dante said, but we need a striker that can be like a target man. That because if you notice, Neto crossing, we just need a poacher in that box, someone that can get on the end of those crosses, because those crosses, especially today game, you can see the quality in the delivery. Oh, Liverpool. Oh, we missed it. And sorry, my bad. Yeah, you can see the quality in that those crossings. So we need someone that can be a poacher and someone that good of kicking the ball. If you notice, Jackson is not that good with his kicking, long range. But we need a striker in that mold. I don't know who it is as yet, but that guy from Sporting, I think he is the one that closer to the profile that we're really looking for.
Fair enough. I know Bobby. I know who Bobby would prefer, but just for the sake of the persons watching, who do you think should lead the line next season? Who do you think Chelsea will sign if they qualify for the Champions League as well, Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, if we get into the Champions League, I can tell you now, Nkunku won't be sold to anybody for any reason. He missed his first season. He would have just been a part of that if we get into the Champions League, and he'll certainly be needed for that competition. So any dream of that happening is a pipe dream. It's not going to happen, and I'll bet on that. In terms of getting in a striker, um, it seems to me that Gyökeres is more suited to Maresca ball. I'm not saying I'm an expert on Gyökeres, but from what I've heard and the little I've seen, he's probably going to be more suited to Maresca ball than anybody else. John Duran is no longer available. He's now been priced out of purchase. Um, the guy in Ipswich, well, I don't know if the big time is really for him yet. Maybe I'm not doing him any favors, but I'm not sure. Um, Something about Osimhen that people don't really fancy. I mean, he's a great player, but there's just something that isn't quite right there. So it all is looking to Gyökeres. Some people speak of what's his name? Is it Dementi? For some sort of Spanish sounding name. I've forgotten this player. Some people are talking about him. But yeah, Gyökeres, especially if Gyökeres can take a shot from outside the box, he will definitely fit that profile of playing ball and scoring goals, and certainly challenging a bit Jackson for the striking spot. Maresca has shown he can play in different ways and is willing to do that. At the moment, he plays with one striker, but he has hinted that there will be times he will be playing with two. And I'm sure by the time, please God, we get back in the Champions League, he will have that extra flexibility in his locker, and you start seeing him doing different things, and that's where the likes of Nkunku come in.
Button Ty, press the button.
Oh my goodness! Big up! You guys have given some wonderful insights here. You've given your thoughts. I appreciate it. Big up to you, Tim. Big up to you, Nigel, and big up to you, Ayodi. It's good to see you here. I'm going to go back to square one and disconnect my mic because I cannot be bothered with this. This is too much. Right. So I
Yeah,
think
I've
we've
started playing
exhausted
a
the.
bit now.
Sorry, what do you say, Bobby?
So City have started playing a bit now, so and it's still only 1-0, so they might be able to peg it back.
That's true. They could. We've exhausted the review as much as possible. You've given your thoughts, guys. And for the how many minutes is left in that game, Bobby?
About 30 minutes, 35.
Fair enough, fair enough. All right, so I want to thank you guys for coming on. For you guys making it to the very end. Tobago was here. Obviously, we had individuals like my boss, Nehemiah, DJ came by, Maya was here. I think Victor was here as well, and some other persons. Um, I want to bring this back up again. Ignore the message, but thank you, Coach, for the donation. Appreciate it. It will help the channel to continue to grow. Appreciate it. And as usual, this will not be a customary stream if persons weren't starting to come in when I'm about to end the stream. But before I end the stream, you guys have anything you want to say? Any final thoughts? Any final words?
Not too much. Just keep going the way we are. Keep winning. Keep going strong. Big test now coming up. A lot of games close in December. So, and a couple of Conference League games in between those as well. So there's a lot of games coming up basically every 3 days. So just keep going the way we're going, and yeah, being positive, and we're going in the right direction. So looking forward to December.
How about you, Garvan?
Yeah, I agree with Dante. Just a little bit of patience. If we can get through this December period, with some favorable result, then we can say, we're on the right path, because this is the time that Chelsea normally either show that we can make it or break it. So this is the crunch time right now. So once we get through this period, then we can have some serious conversation.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Anything for you, Bobby?
Yeah, I agree. Um, Fitness and recovery is key now. The games are going to come thick and fast. We have to have a fresh, strong squad, and we're going to have to dig into the depth of the squad. So, um, yeah, this is an interesting time to see how we're going to handle this. If we handle this well, then, as Gavin said, we have a different conversation to be had.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Once again, thank you three for coming on and assisting in reviewing this match. It's good to see that we're on a roll now. We're winning matches again. That's wonderful, and hopefully we continue with that throughout the coming week and onto the next weekend as well. Thank you guys. Thank you for everybody who'll be watching this after. Appreciate you guys, and keep the blue flag flying high up the shows, and hopefully we have a good week as well.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Thanks, guys. Take care, bye.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Dante. All right, Sir Bobby.